Well, we know President Biden will cover a number of topics during his State of the Union address tonight, including foreign affairs.
White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Olivia Dalton joins us now from outside the White House. Olivia, thanks for being here. So tell us a little bit more about the president's process. Who did he turn to for inspiration for his speech tonight, and how is he feeling today?
Well, the president is always feeling optimistic. I think you've heard him say throughout his career, and certainly as president, that he continues to believe that America's brightest days lie ahead. So that is certainly the tone and tenor of the speech you'll hear tonight. And tonight's an important opportunity for him to speak directly to the American people about where we are 2 years into this historic presidency and how he intends to take us forward to continue delivering on the progress we've made so far and to finish the job for the American people in the year and the years ahead.
Olivia, based on a call that your office had with the media recently, we expect this speech to be, as you just laid it out, optimistic, saying Americans should let him finish the job. But what was not mentioned was some of the foreign affairs failures as far as Republicans see them. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCaul basically pointed to the abrupt withdrawal from Afghanistan, espionage attempts from China, which we've just witnessed this past weekend, and of course, the war in Ukraine is ongoing despite the U.S.'s efforts to limit what Russia can do. How will President Biden address those topics and convince Americans he's handling foreign affairs properly?
Well, look, I think you may know the president has no shortage of experience on foreign affairs. He is the former Senate Foreign Relations Committee chairman during his tenure in the Senate. Spent 8 years as vice president tackling these issues on the global stage, and certainly as president has rebuilt our alliances and partnerships from across the globe, even as confronted with a global pandemic, with a war in Europe, and so many other issues like climate change. He has brought the United States back and reasserted our leadership on the world stage after 4 years of the exact opposite. And tonight you are going to hear the president talk about that in this speech. Certainly foreign policy will be a part of this speech tonight, as it has been in past years. And you'll hear him lay out his principles and his vision for our foreign policy, for reasserting America's leadership on the world stage, for tackling issues of importance across the globe, like preventing future pandemics, tackling the threat of climate change, rebuilding our alliances and partnerships, and making sure we continue to stand up to the threats posed to Ukraine by Russia's brutal invasion in the year ahead. So I think you'll hear that from the president directly in very strong terms tonight.
Olivia, I want to follow up with you on that point because you mentioned twice President Biden rebuilding relationships, but deteriorating relationships between the U.S. and China are looming in the forefront of not only our foreign policy, but our economic policy. What should we expect the president to say about our relationship with China, and what would repairing the relationship look like?
Well, certainly the relationship between the United States and China has been a critical piece of the president's foreign policy message from the start of this administration. You've seen the president recently meeting in person with President Xi, and he and the Secretary of State, our National Security Advisor, and other officials have continued to reiterate how important it is that our relationship with China stay in a place of competition and not conflict. That is going to continue to be the posture of this administration, even as we talk about how we approach China from a position of strength and competition. And you'll hear that in very clear terms tonight from the president himself.
Well, great to have you join us and give us a preview of what the president will discuss. We'll also keep an eye out for those special guests. Olivia Dalton, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.